Welcome back, y'all. It is the Broke Capitalist, and today we're going to talk about something very important: credit card debt. Okay, so as you all know, sometimes you find yourself in a very rough predicament where you just end up having a bunch of credit card debt. You look back and you're like, yo, what did I buy? And honestly, I kind of do come from the school of Dave Ramsey, where I also believe that you should just be paying off your debt as soon as possible and just trying to get rid of that interest. But the problem with Dave Ramsey at times is that he doesn't really give you the clearest, concise way in order to pay off your debt as quickly as possible and for as cheaply as possible. The whole beans and rice thing is good for a while, but let's be real, we need something a little bit more efficient and healthy in order to actually pay off our debt. So I also found myself in like some credit card debt early in life. I was early 20s, had a rough time looking for a job, still had things I had to pay for, and I decided to put it all on a credit card because that's what you do when you're 20. And it was a bad decision, but it was a survival instinct, and honestly I needed to do it in order to survive. I literally needed a credit card in order to survive, and sometimes that's just the situation. But what happens if you don't have any money or you have little money and you have credit card debt and it's hard to pay it off because the interest rates at this point range between 18% to almost 30% on a credit card? It's like you feel like you can't really get out of that hole. So what happened when I was around 21 is I had to pay for a bunch of things, and I basically applied for a new credit card in order to pay for these things because they had a 0% introductory rate. And I was like, okay, well, if I pay for it, hopefully by the time this 0% is over, I have already found a job and I have the money to pay it off. Boy, was I wrong. I did not have a job in time. It did not work out as planned. So I had to come up with a plan. How am I going to pay off this huge amount of debt? I had racked up maybe about $4,500. So I had to really do more research, and I ended up figuring out a way to do that research. So as I said before, I got a card that had 0% interest. So interest was about to come back on. It had been over a year with this credit card, and I kept making purchases, my bad. And yeah, so it was coming down to that deadline, and I was just like, oh wow, I really got to figure this out. So what I ended up doing is discovering a balance transfer card. So when you have a credit card, especially when you use it, a lot of times credit card companies will send you mail on getting new credit cards. And you're like, yo, why would I get a new credit card? And the answer is you need to get a new credit card if you have credit card debt and you have high interest. You absolutely need to get a new credit card. Why? That's what we're going to explain today. It is the cheapest option in order to pay off your debt quickly and efficiently as possible, and keeping the payments that you make within interest as low as possible. So we're going to talk about balance transfer cards. If you get offered a new credit card and they have a offer for a balance transfer, usually between 12 to 21 months, they'll give you 0% on that balance transfer. Now, a balance transfer is just when your new credit card company offers to pay for your old credit card company's bill, right? I mean, you're not going to ever get rid of your credit card, so let's not call it your old credit card company. Let's just call it the card you messed up on. Like, they're offering to pay that off and move your indiscretions to their card. And really, they're doing it in their own self-interest. One, because they charge a fee for you to do it. And two, they're hoping that you continue to screw up and that they can collect that interest instead of the other guys, their competition. But what you have to do is buckle down the minute you get that new credit card, okay? So I'm going to tell you how it kind of goes. Say, for example, you owe, let's say, $6,000, right? Say you owe $6,000 on your credit card, and that the interest rate is somewhere around 24%, right? And your balance transfer card offers you, the average is about 18 months. So let's say they offer you 18 months of 0%, right? That means you will be paying 0% on all your debt for 18 months. So your best interest is to try to pay it off in 18 months, right? So if you paid $400 every month for 18 months, 24% interest for 18 months, you would have paid a total of $1,203.83 in interest. You don't want to pay that much in interest. That's a lot of money in interest. That's a new laptop. That can go towards a car. That can go towards your retirement. That's how they're making their money, on charging you interest. So now imagine, instead of having that 24% interest rate, you were able to get 0% interest rate, but they charge you a fee usually between 2% and 5% in order to transfer that balance. The average I see a lot is around 4%. These days you can get around 3%, but let's go with 4% on that $6,000, right? Because in total, if you were to do the 24%, you would actually end up paying $7,203. Now, if you did $6,000 at a one-time fee of 4%, that balance transfer would cost you $240. So in total, you would have paid $6,240, right? And then you would have been able to split that monthly cost up over the course of those 18 months, and we could figure out what that monthly payment would be. So let's take a look at that. Divided by 18, and there you have it. You would pay actually less money. You would pay let's call it $350 a month. Like I said before, you would have been paying $400 a month had you just left it on that credit card that you messed up on. By itself, you would have been paying $400 a month, right? Why do that to yourself? Get that balance transfer, pay that one-time fee, and in 18 months, you're home scot-free. And if you really have it, you can even lower it to something closer to, let's see, 6,240. Say you wanted to get rid of it within a year. Let's do 12 months. $520, and you can get rid of it in 12 months at 0% interest. Pay that bad boy down. You know what I'm saying? And honestly, that's my advice to you. It worked for me. And also, just having another credit card and having that extra available credit actually boosted my credit score. And it made my life a little bit easier. Let's be real. I didn't have to pay any interest. It boosted my credit score. It lowered my credit usage ratio because I had a new credit card. It did a lot. So it can actually help you as far as your credit score. Again, this is not financial advice. I'm not saying you need to go do this. Actually, you do need to do this. I'm sorry. You need to go do this. So again, this is not financial advice. All I'm saying is there are more efficient ways and cost-effective ways in order to pay off your credit card. And really, it's just a matter of reading and finding good offers and deals out there. I know that some people like Dave Ramsey, for example, are real big on saying stay away from credit cards. And, you know, he's right to some extent. But to be honest, if you pay attention to the rules of credit cards, you actually are going to come out a winner if you play the game right. There's a lot to gain. And, you know, if you're irresponsible, there could be a lot to lose. But the whole point of doing the credit card game is to become as responsible as possible. So all I'm saying is, it looks like a good deal to me. Thank you guys for watching. This is The Drunk Capitalist, and I'll see you guys next time. Pay off those credit cards, all right?